Hello, my fellow grounder pounders. I'm joined here today by my beautiful girlfriend.
Hello.
And today we're going to be looking at Death Stranding, a game I've looked forward to for quite some time.
Mm.
It is wonderfully weird and it's very, very unique. And, I really don't know if I even like it.
Really?
Yeah, but it almost doesn't matter because I play them more for I'm really just looking forward to this game, and the expectations were so much more than what this game could ever be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I dreamed about it, thought about it, perseverated on it, and by the time it rolled around, you can just simplify it and go, it's a game about this. Because the mystery's gone now. I have the answer right here. I'm playing through the answer.
Mm.
But want to know what? That's not why I.
Interesting.
That's not why I got into games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you like what it looks like? It's gorgeous,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it does a lot of weird, interesting things. But honestly, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad to me. And kind of just what games are to me in a sense. I went hardcore into video games around the time, this is kind of serious, kind of sad,
Mm.
around the time I was experiencing some sadness when I was younger, and it was a very difficult time for me. But what
Mm.
I turned to was video games,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I had difficult uh, circumstances with you know a parent doing stuff, and just and now, I really I feel a judgment and a presence 24/7,
Mm.
even today. So what video games are to me are an escape. They're an appreciation of art, because it's a culmination of a variety of people's dreams and ideas, and that's what attracts me so much to them.
Mm.
That humans are able to come together, and with all of their varying thoughts, they are able to produce a project that hopefully has a singular tone and message,
Mm-hmm.
similar tone and message. Because honestly, one of the first times I played this game called Oblivion was when I got this really bad news, going through a lot of stuff when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember just zoning out and everything being okay for a few hours
Right.
as I just screwed around in this game.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that's really all. I know that was very serious, and I don't mean to drag anybody down, but I also want to be real once in a year. That's why we started this, was to be real.
Right. Well,
So
yes, I'd like to help because it helped us. I mean, that's really where it came from. That's where it
yeah,
was born from. It was, you know, we used it, it helped us. And then, you're combining your love of games and art
my,
and
and my love of you, you know,
oh, that's
because
so
I'm
sweet.
because a part of this is about bringing somebody who knows nothing about it
Right.
in on this joy of media and what it can, because that's kind of something I've really tried to show you.
Mm-hmm.
TVs and TV shows can be more than just time wasters.
Right. I mean, I like a good time waster occasionally,
Of
but
course.
I do have to say, you've really shown me things that I probably would not, honestly, I would not have looked at. I wouldn't have looked at a game. I wouldn't have, um, watched some of the movies. You know, I wouldn't have watched the series we're watching now.
And what this does is it feeds into my creativity and my life and keeps me producing weird things,
Mm-hmm.
keeps me on my toes. And if you're on your toes, you're living. You know, that's really why I have these experiences,
Mm-hmm.
is because I'm alive and I'm mindful. And I think that's a huge, huge thing, you know, when you're supposed to be studying art and playing guitar. You've got to be mindful about what you're doing, otherwise it's not, you know, purposely progressive works.
Right.
It's just, you know, I don't know. So last night I drove home. Um, yes, listening to the radio. I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
forbidden from it because I go on and on about songs that I hear that I don't like,
True.
and I talk about the commercials incessantly and how they could be better. But I was by myself, so I decided, what's the harm? And
Wow.
I felt like an alien listening to the radio stations. Like my body had just been taken over, and I was cycling through the stations
Mm-hmm.
and driving home, and everything felt new and weird.
Well, because you don't listen, so like you're not really into
I
it.
felt like I was trying to be a human. And I think that's really what, like, this whole conversation has been about, is, you know, we're all trying to pretend to be human. And that's almost what this game is doing. You know, it's a very weird experience. And as I was twisting the dial, I was listening from everything to Spanish rap, which I stayed with for far too long, since I
Spanish
don't know
rap.
Spanish.
The hell would you find
And
Spanish
then
rap?
I
The
found
hell
this
are you listening
tween station, and it was about this tween girl with this really high-pitched nasal voice that would have made Taylor Swift blush with how desperate this song was. It was it was I'm the what was it? You know, oh, you want to date me? You want to date me? You know, whatever. I was like, what the hell? This is so. If you ever say, I don't like your nah, nah, I don't like your girlfriend or something stupid, I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know pretty much all the songs that are.
I don't like your girlfriend. Why don't you date me? Or something is one of the lyrics. I'm like, you desperate little girl. I just wanted to talk to whoever wrote this song and say to her, if you ever say you should date me, you're doing it wrong.
You're like the oldest young person I know.
It was awful. Then I listened to this song. I got into this old rap
Those
station.
whippersnappers.
And the song was, I'm the bad guy.
Oh my god. I like
And
that.
I was like, what in the hell am I listening to? And then it just was like, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, that's pretty
I'm the
cool.
bad guy. I'm like, but what is she doing besides saying she's the bad guy? That doesn't make you a bad guy. I thought this song was the
I don't.
stupidest.
I think you're overthinking things.
This is how I became forbidden from the radio in the first
I think
place.
you're back to it.
But I really started to think how everybody who's listening to the radio knows these songs.
Yes, everybody
But
but you.
but me, no, no, no. I have more to say. Surprise, surprise. But everybody misses out on so much. Again, it's the human experience is what I'm talking about. You know, because I am really in tune to video games. I watch a bunch of stuff.
Yes, you
I
do.
look forward to a bunch of stuff.
You do.
But I still miss out on games. Like I hear about it, I heard about a new game that's coming out. I'm like, oh, I had no idea that was coming out. Wow, where was I for this? And it just got me thinking when I was listening to this song. I was like, if people were really into music, they'd probably listen to this and go, what the hell is this about?
True. True. Well, I think it just makes sense. If you like something, you're going to be more focused on that. You can't put your attention in 50
But
different
but that's what
directions.
I'm saying. Even if my attention is in one direction, we still miss things. And it just made me kind of realize how we're always missing out no matter what.
True.
If we're into books, there's going to be a book, and then we get so we what's the word? Corner ourselves almost
Mm-hmm.
in one kind of market. You're a music girl. I like games. So what am I going to do? Games. What are you going to do? Music.
Right.
And what do we end up doing? You miss songs that you've never heard of, and I show you them. And I miss games, and you sure as hell don't show me. But you get my point.
I get your
You
point.
know, it's just an overwhelming sentiment almost. Don't you agree?
I do. Yes.
So I mean,
It's an interesting point. I never really thought of it that way.
you are not going to look up the lyrics to that song.
I mean, you know who sings that, right?
No, I don't know who sings that.
Wow.
Who sings it?
So probably one of the
Just spare me. Who sings it?
Billie Eilish.
Who?
Yes, just these.
Illy?
Billie.
Billy?
Yeah, she's one of the most popular singers right now.
Okay,
But
good for her.
the lyrics are more than just bag. Don't you love that voice though?
No, I honestly listened to the radio and went like, because I never know if I'm listening to a techno station that nobody's ever heard of. I loved that one night I found that station. I never found it again.
What's
But it was like a really crazy techno station that just played electronica music. I'm like, hell yeah. And then it disappeared. So whenever I tune into the radio, I don't know if I'm listening to the most popular radio station in the state or if I'm listening to Jim Bob's radio tower in his backyard. So I heard that I'm the bad guy and I thought this might be Jim Bob's first song he's putting out. Or
No,
this might be
it's
the most famous song in the world.
it could be right up there. I'm curious. I wonder what it is on the charts, just for your reference.
The song was just an example.
Well,
You
it's
loser.
you picked it. um, let's see.
No, I'm not gonna sing.
Well, no, because do you know who Lizzo is?
Lizzo?
Yeah.
Wasn't like the Muppet called Ratso?
No,
Rizzo?
what the? No, Lizzo, not. Oh my God.
Whatever.
Fresh photos with the bomb lighting.
What the hell are you talking about?
I really want to
But
play
no,
for you
on
now.
on that note, though, my point is, here you are on your radio life. Lots
Mm-hmm.
of people don't listen to the radio anymore because they've got their cell phones. So what they're doing is they're doing what they always do, and they're pigeonholing themselves with only by only listening to their music. And
Well,
I
that's
just thought about that because you'll never understand my experience that I always choreograph my music, and I'll never understand your experience that you'll put up with 80 songs that are crappy that are repeated 30 times a day. So I can never understand how you can take joy from the one song you might like and how it plays on the radio 80 times a day.
well, because you mix it up. Is
And
you
you'll
go to
never,
different stations.
well, I don't know. Why wouldn't you just choreograph your own music and listen to your favorite things whenever you wanted?
Because new stuff comes out all the time, and you like,
But I find new stuff somehow.
Yeah, but not current stuff.
I don't find a lot of current stuff, I suppose. But that's
Okay,
because
if
most
you
of the
don't
current
know
stuff you
who Lizzo
suggest
and Billie Eilish
is
is,
Maroon 5. And I'm gonna
then
light an
you are
effigy
in the
on
dark
our front
ages.
lawn if you ever bring up that stupid Maroon 5
Oh, I
band.
like it.
That Give Me One Baby song,
What?
I don't know. That I want to, girl like me, guy
Oh,
like
I
you.
love that
I
song.
want to punch that song in the face.
No, and the new one I like too. Almost has a reggae vibe to it. Memories.
Ah, screw 'em. They used to be a fantastic band.
Okay, Grandpa.
They used to. Back in my day, bands used to be bands.
Back in my your back in your day was like 10 years ago
The good old
when you
days.
were a kid.
Yeah, look at you. If I was a kid back then, what were you? A
A
toucher.
baby, a baby.
Yeah, sure. That would make you a little child toucher then. If that's, because you've had your eyes on me for quite some time.
Oh, stop it. You exaggerate.
Sometimes I pass cops and I think, you can do it, you can do it. And I'm just gonna tell them I'm being held against my will and she makes me do things that I never wanted to do and I never dreamed I'd have to do.
Like cooking,
No,
cooking and cleaning.
worse,
Worse.
worse.
Like spend time with my family.
That is, that is probably one of the worst.
No, it isn't. It was a joke.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh my God.
So, I understand I've just been meandering around the beautiful landscape and looking around at rocks, but honestly, that's what I do. In all my videos, I really just like to appreciate how it was made and how when I walk, what kind of do I make loud footsteps? Do I make little splashy sounds in the puddle? Because somebody had to design that. And what does it look like when I go around in a circle? 'Cause some games, you move the thumbstick in a circle, and they move around like they're on a, you
Right.
know, turntable.
You
A
know what's
gramophone. They turn around
Yeah,
like they're on a gramophone.
I don't even know. I think I know what that is. But no, that's why I find it really funny when you record video games. Like there will be like endless footage of this, like of nothing.
I have 86 gigabytes worth of recorded footage for Nier Automata, and some of it is just me looking at a cave because I thought the cave looked cool.
Remember that game where you just had like endless footage and you were just like sitting on something?
Well,
I don't. Oh, remember the one where it was like underwater and
Abzu.
Abzu.
I had I think 10 hours of unused footage in Abzu of
Yeah,
just the fishes swimming
yeah, but
because
there
I
was
thought it
one
was
where you
really
were just
cool.
sitting on something.
Yeah, you sat on a rock, you meditated, and then you could see the fish. And I thought the fish were so pretty. And you did too, you little smartass.
Well, not 10 hours worth.
Okay, it probably wasn't 10 hours worth, but it was a good 3 hours. I never know when I'm gonna need some calming fish footage.
And oh, yeah, how many times have you used that?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness.
that's pretty much been the game. Yeah, I could show you some fancy cutscenes. Yeah, I could show you something else, but what I really love about games is the little stuff. Like one of my favorite moments of Zelda Breath of the Wild was when I found out that I stepped into a skull cave, like a skull house
Mm-hmm.
in the desert, and the skull has a sun coming through the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I stepped into the shadow of the house, and I was cold. and I stepped into the sun that was changing direction based on where the sun, like based on where the sun was coming in from,
Right.
and I got hotter. So that means they programmed it so that literally the sun got you hot, not just that being in it. Because I thought it would have been a contextual cue. If you're in house, you are safe.
Right.
Character house safe. But no, it still registered that you could be you. It would be hot underneath the sun.
Wow.
And even though that was like a 10-second experience, that's one of the main things I remember. And that's why I'm just going to be walking around here for a decade more. Because, you never know what you'll find when you turn over virtual rocks.
Well, I guess it's just the artist in you. It's all in the details, you know. When most people just look at it as a whole and enjoy it and like, oh, let's do whatever we need to do. You're you're caught up in the little nuances, but that's because you're an artist, you know.
Thank you so much for watching this with me. I hope you've enjoyed this.
I have. It's just really beautiful to look at. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really, really weird, but so, so great. Thank you so
Mm.
much for watching this with me. You want to sign off, girl?
I'm sure. Please like or subscribe. It means the world to us. And good night.
Good night.